Stipple.
Come on, won't you say it loud? Ayo, we gon' turn this out. Tom Clark's main event. Dropkick now and powerbomb. Ayo, bro, let's bring this on. Hey, hey, what is up? Oh, captain, my captain, show the stuff. Power slammer, suplex 2. Hot garbage is just for you. Big breaker, cut a cold red. Figure 4, hot times ahead. Since 2014, it's on. It's a 10 count, but stand up strong. Hey kid, no DQ, strong style. Chop, this is how it goes. Tom Clark's main event. Tom Clark's main event. Tom Clark's main event. Tom Clark's main event.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, kids. Thanks for tuning in. You are tuned in to Tom Clark's main event. I may have just forgot my own intro that I wrote 10 years ago. Yeah, well, look, I'll get it. Sometimes I blank on my own intro. No one wrote it for me, understand? I wrote it for myself. And I've been using it. It's only been 11 years. It's only been 11 years this year. You can't fault a man for forgetting stuff. I'm busy. Okay, look, I got it. It's fine. I'm not going to overthink it. I tend to overthink this stuff so much. Y'all don't even know. I envy people who don't overthink things. I'm so jealous. My therapist says it's a matter of thinking about your thinking. I'm not making that up. It's like a sign of hyperintelligence. Don't anybody snicker at that. Okay? Don't anybody make fun of that. I'm being for real here, honestly. Thinking about your thinking. Like, it's a situation where you ask somebody how they're doing, and they go, I'm fine. And you go, really? You try to dig, and you're like, they're genuinely fine. There's really nothing. If you ask me how you are, and then after I tell you, I'll go back in my head and think about how I told it to you. Do you know what I mean? It's you know that Doctor Strange thing, you know, you pull the soul out. I just keep doing that. It's like, you know, like Play-Doh or something. Not Play-Doh, but help me out here. Silly putty. You know what I mean? Where's my old people in the audience that you know the silly putty? I'm just saying, as a kid, I'm like, look, man, I could put down a comic book and look, it's the picture. It's the comic book on the putty, man. Look. Then when you're done, you just roll it in a ball and do it again. And that was hours of entertainment. Countless hours of entertainment was the silly putty. I'm here to tell you. If you had remember the red egg, it would come in. If you had the red egg, a silly putty, in a lazy Saturday, brother, you had entertainment for hours, days, weeks, even. I'm not kidding. Did you ever have one where the egg was like you forgot to shut it all the way? What happened the next day? Dried out. The putty dried out. Today's episode, Tom Clark's main event, brought to you by your friends at Silly Putty. I don't know. I need to get a sponsor. I need Silly Putty to sponsor the show. Who made Silly Putty? Probably not Hasbro. One of those toy makers, I'm sure. Hasbro's a toy maker, but they probably didn't make it. Look, kids, before we get started, we got a special guest here today. I want you to smash the like button for me. I see one person did it. That one person's getting a cookie. The rest of you are not going to get any cookies, man. None of you. You'll be cookieless if you don't start smashing that like button. And I'm not going to say hey to nobody. You understand? There you go. Whoever did that, thank you. There you go. Get that number up there, man. It's a Friday. People are going to go enjoy their weekend. They don't want to hang out with me. You know what? I could get my feelings hurt, but I'm not gonna. People like me. I'm gonna be that dude in the mirror. People like me. They really, you know what I mean? I'm important. I mean something. I'm really only here to pop myself. I don't really care if none of the rest of you enjoy it or not. I'm just here to make myself laugh. That's really not true. Y'all know that, right? By the way, the first time I went on camera for a call today, I realized how tired I looked. And I saw myself on camera and I went, ugh. Like I had no idea I looked that tired. I look like I haven't slept in a week. It's possibly because I haven't. Anyway, we've got a guest here with us. She's been waiting all day. And here's what's funny is that she was watching the show last week. And I'm like, hey, you should come on the show. And she's like, yeah, I'll come on the show. And then today at like 3:20, I was like, hey, you still want to come on the show? And she should have said, look, man, it's 3:20. Do you understand? Like in your hours, that's 8:20 for me, man. Or 8:20 for me, 3:20 for you. No, I'm not coming on your stupid show. You had all week to tell me. but I didn't tell her, did I? I could have left all that to myself and made out like I'm highly organized, but it would have been a lie. I like to be honest with my audience. Let's bring her on, kids. Please welcome back to the show. You know her from the Untitled Wrestling Podcast. Yeah. Please welcome Miss Faye Devine. Faye, welcome back to the show. Thanks for coming on.
How dare you give me a nostalgia attack, by the way? Silly putty? I feel like I've just aged. Like,
yeah. I was gonna. Well, if you had it, I'm shocked that it was called Silly Putty, because I know things that were made here, maybe they're called something different over there. So I'm impressed that it's actually
like
silly
slime or something. But I know exactly what you're talking about. You know, when you just have like that like nostalgia hit, and you're like, oh dear Lord.
Yes.
That type of thing. So yeah, thank you for that. I didn't ask for it, but it's a gift nonetheless.
I legit had flashbacks to being a kid. I'm talking about a kid and playing with Silly Putty and just being mesmerized by we could do with it. I could just right off the comic book page. Look at that. I was just shocked.
Yeah, it was super fun.
That's
but yeah, no, I'm so happy you asked me to come on. I always love doing this show.
Oh,
it's nice hanging out with you.
I appreciate you very much. And I should have been more organized and not hit you today.
No, I wing my way through life, and this is no different.
We'll get there and we get there. That's kind of always been my motto.
Yeah.
I'll get to it when I can.
Exactly.
Kids, you know Faye. Faye, you know the kids. Please, everyone, tell her hello and make her feel welcome. The first one on tap today, Guten Tag, Sandy in Germany. Good to see you. Josh, what's up? David in Australia. Good to see you, my friend. Sugar Shane, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. JP and I were talking about the WWE Hall of Fame earlier. JP got some side comments from the host. They didn't have to pay nothing. How you like that?
Nice.
I'm telling you, I aims to please. Ray All Day's here. Ray is coming on the show with me next week, kids. We're going to do something a little bit different next week. We're going to, for the entire hour, we're going to dive into heel and face. What makes it work, why it worked in 1900, 1920, 30, 40, 50. You get it. And all the way up till suddenly companies are saying, it doesn't matter anymore. We don't care. All right, cool. So we're going to talk about all that next week. So don't nobody miss that. That should be fun. That should be fun. Is everybody else entertained by my talk about Silly Putty? Ray's All Day is asking, where's the Tom Clark dancers? The Tom Clark's main event dancers are warming up in the next room. Well, I'm waiting for the right time. I got them on standby all the time, Faye, but it's just never really the right time.
You need to keep up with the routine. It's ever changing. So I get that, you know,
ever changing. 5, 6, 7, 8. The steps are never, the one girl's always out of step. But I don't want to get rid of her. She's good people.
Yeah. We don't cut jobs here.
No. We're New Japan. We don't fire during the pandemic. That's not who we are. That's not who we are. JP says, don't worry, Faye. Tom is making me feel old too. She didn't say old. She said nostalgic, JP. Come on now. So, well, look, kids, if you read the subject line, you know what we're going to tap, what we're going to tap here today. We're going to hit it first. But before we do, everyone, please, if you will, hit the like button and share this on your feed, if you will. I got 3 different Facebook pages. I've shared on every one of them. So if you would, kids, please, and thank you. That would be awesome for me. Do you know, Faye, by the way, that I recorded with Jay and Joe for the better part of a year? Just on one pod. Not total time of everything else. I've known Jay. I've recorded with Jay since 2018.
That's
maybe.
Crazy.
And I have never been on the Untitled Wrestling Podcast with the exception of, it was just me and Jay, and we did that fantasy booking of All In that year.
Oh, that was fun. I enjoyed that.
I did too. But I'm like, I've never been on
Damn it, vacant.
Yes.
It's Joe's one, yeah.
Don't tell them I said anything. I'm not gonna invite myself. It's weird. You know what I mean?
I think you should. That would be really funny if I just didn't tell them.
I should just pop up on the screen.
Stand up, yeah.
All disheveled with messy hair and the headphones are on crooked. What's going on here? And just be yelling at them and stuff.
Just be like alter ego and we'll just roll with it. It'll be hilarious.
I'll be like the Mirror Universe Tom. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Instead of
Yeah.
real nice and polite, I'll be real, like a real douche the
Real
whole time.
silly.
Yeah. Yeah. Gruff.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. I'm down for this prank.
oh,
I hope neither of them. Ah, is he here? Is he listening? I really hope he isn't. No, I don't think
Sandy
he is.
mentioned his name.
Oh, well, he told me to tell you hi anyway.
Oh,
Jay did.
nice. Nice. Yeah, I mentioned, he and I and Joe were still in a group chat from the Ted Lasso show. By the way, Two Nations Under Ted Lasso podcast, kids, all 3 seasons
Yes. And it's
available on the
very
Boink
good.
Studios Facebook. Oh, let me tell you, Chris Patton, shout out Chris Patton. He has teased me before about every show I'm on with you. You're plugging that Ted Lasso thing. He's like, how do you always find a way to put it in? I said, I always find a way to just slide it in, man.
It's great though. We were talking about it the other day. We were doing a podcast with Troy, and he's just started watching Ted Lasso, but now he's watching it and he's listening to the episodes as he's going through.
Is he?
As well? Yeah.
Troy's my man. I love Troy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool to hear. Very cool to hear.
They make me laugh in the office anyway, and I look like an insane person because I've just got my headphones in and I'm like shaking because I'm laughing so much watching it.
The Office, you said?
Yeah, where I work.
Oh, at the Office. I thought you meant the show The Office. All right.
No. I listen to the Two Nations Under Ted and work.
Oh, shut up.
I just look like a crazy person because I'm just like holding in laughter all the time.
Man, Jay and Joe are rock stars. They made me look so good on that show. Like I brought what I could bring to it, but Joe was the heart of the whole thing. And Jay, with all that freaking knowledge he has about the game, like
I know nothing about football. I
know so much more now than I did before, of course.
Same. When I first watched the first episode of Ted Lasso with my son, he's really big into football. And he was like, this player is based off this player. And I was like, oh, really? He was like, yeah.
Yeah, we found out. It's so cool. Like Zlatan, Zav is based on Zlatan.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the stuff you find out, like Jack Grealish looks like Jamie Tart, for crying out loud. He looks like him.
It's the same with Roy Kemp, though.
Yeah. It's Roy Keane. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Really good. Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about football.
Oh, no. Are you sure? Kids, to Faye's point, let's get on it. WWE Royal Rumble. I know everybody here is into WWE, so I want honest opinions right now. What you guys think about what's going to happen at the Royal Rumble tomorrow this time. Faye, let's start with you, of course. Let me go ahead.
What I don't want to happen is Charlotte wins lol, because I'm tired of that game. And I've got the fear, and it probably is going to happen because it always happens. She comes back and she wins and she gets all the belts. And I just don't think, I just think I'm tired of it. And it's a shame because she's a fantastic wrestler, but it's just the way she's portrayed is just, it just feels like a slight to every other person in the locker room.
Yeah. They just call her Charlotte All Belts. You know what I mean? Just here's another one. And I say that Mercedes has like 5 titles now. So
in different promotions though, so I'll let that slide. Like
that's fair. Yeah.
It's just that like you have all these and I don't watch WWE, but I keep a vague, less now that I don't have Twitter anymore. But there's a lot of talent in the women's roster in WWE now, and it would seem a shame to not push that. And they're doing a great job with Tiffany Stratton is the last person that I knew that had the title. I don't know if she still does, but I think it's nice to see somebody new have it, and I really hope that they carry on with that momentum.
I mean, everybody missed Roman and he came back and they love him, but I'm like, y'all kind of forgot that you were kind of really booing him because everyone's going, oh God, I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of this. Then he came back. Oh, I love this. It's the best angle ever. I'm like, man, y'all are so fickle, man. Like, come on, you know?
Bryan Danielson was right.
Fickle. Yeah. And to your point about Charlotte, by the way, am I behind? Has she had plastic surgery? Am I crazy?
It's like, so to me, it looks like she's let her lip fillers and Botox dissolve, which is why she looks a bit skinnier in the face with her lips.
Interesting. Mean Gene, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you. Brett, have you watched the show before? I don't know that you have. Brienne, good to see you. Blackjack, Brienne Milligan. I love that. Blackjack Milligan.
Very
I don't know if
cool.
she gets it, but I get it. As long as I get a laugh.
Yeah.
Just kidding. What they need to do is have a surprise person, take her out, and have her start a rivalry angle with that.
Well, somebody further up did say Jordan Grice. So, yes, you could do that. Yeah, Sandy.
Interesting. Ray's right. She does look like a different person for sure.
Maybe that's her more natural face because she's let the Botox dissolve, though. You get that. With that way, they look a completely different person because they don't have the fillers.
I actually thought that the opposite was true, that she was now using fillers. Maybe I'm wrong.
It looks like she's got rid of them, to be honest.
Oh, okay. I knew something was up.
I also like Mitchin. I still, in my head, still call her Maya Yim.
Yes,
but yeah,
please do.
I think she's fantastic.
Please do.
Yeah, I don't like that name.
Terrible. Leave it up to WWE to take a perfectly good name and just mess it up.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's worked for Gunter, even though I'm like, yeah, it's Walter. But it did work for Gunter, but it dragged its heels a lot. It never worked for Pete Dunne, though.
Never.
Butch. He was never Butch.
Never. Not one day. Not one day. Not one day. Every time they'd introduce him, I'm like, no, that's not who that is. I'm not stupid.
I don't know who this Butch fella is you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, this time of year, of course, everyone talks about who could possibly be in the Royal Rumble, and I've heard some wild speculation about certain names, and I've got one for you, and as soon as I say this, I'll be proven wrong. Something shocking will happen tomorrow. But in this day and age of WWE, AEW, now WWE's working with TNA. We know who's on New Japan's roster. I don't know. With the exception of past Attitude Era guys, who could they really bring out that would make you go, "Holy crap"? I mean,
Leon Slater.
Who's that?
Leon Slater.
Leon Slater.
That would just make me so very happy because he's someone that I've seen a lot of local shows, and he's really, really putting the work in TNA at the minute. Matt Hardy just put him over massively on Twitter. Says he could be a future TNA World Champion. He's phenomenal. Like, please seek out his work. Sorry. But I would like to see him in the Royal Rumble. That is a shot in the dark, but that would be so good.
Well,
if they're just throwing in TNA guys. Joe Hendry would be the one, wouldn't it?
Well, Sandy said, yeah.
Yeah.
Sandy also said Matt Cardona.
Don't know about that one, but you never know.
Different. He's not set foot in that company since he left, has he?
No,
he's always been Zack Ryder.
He showed up on AEW, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Like recently.
And you know what's funny is that I saw an interview with him not long after that Jericho match, and they just didn't offer him anything.
Yeah. According
to him, he was cool about it. He wasn't like upset, but they didn't. They just kind of shook his hand and said, "Well, thanks."
It's the same with the what happened to him when he had that match with Cody, though, as well, wasn't it? Like,
yeah, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I made a joke last week about being a surprise entrant. Now everybody's bringing it up. Ray says I'll be number 29. Yeah, well, if it requires running to the ring, I might be in trouble.
You can do like just everything goes black and then you appear in the ring.
Yes. And
like the Undertaker entrance.
The fans be like, oh, lights come on. They go, what? Who's this idiot? Like it'd be a complete opposite reaction. You know what I mean? Complete opposite.
What you could have is you, Ray, and Phil Lindsay doing like the Too Cool entrance, the Too Cool Royal Rumble spot. And you do the dance.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Boy, you talk about over. They were so over as a
Yeah.
trio. My goodness.
That's one of my favorite Royal Rumbles, that. Like, the entire pay-per-view was great.
Yeah, I mean, wow, so good. Because that was the Rumble where Rikishi threw them both out.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I
Yeah.
gotta do what I gotta do, man. You know.
And Triple H and Cactus Jack had that amazing match as well.
Yeah.
The hardcore match. That was
Uh,
good.
Mean Gene said they finally figured out Butch was working. They gave him his other name. Would never have made himself wrong in anything. So I think Triple H is more open minded, but in that crew, that doesn't necessarily mean a lot. I got thoughts about Triple H. We'll touch on that dude here in a second. Sugar Shane's a good one. The biggest surprise would be Tessa Blanchard. That's
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Get in the sea.
Yeah.
Not you, Shane. Tessa Blanchard. No, thank you.
No, thank you. Somebody, was it last week or the week before? I don't remember who it was. Kind of brought up the point of, well, so no one gets a second chance. And I'm like, my pushback on that was, look, she has not been signed since it happened, since all that happened. I mean, there is, in my opinion, without being connected to any of these people at all personally, I get it. But Faye, that kind of feels like, man, there was probably a lot more there than maybe we even knew. Because if it was a nothing, if it was a misunderstanding, she would have had a job long before now.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Like, I just don't think, I think there's disputes and stuff like that you can work through or turn into a way or whatever, you can brush it under the and then there's things like, no, you can't have that in your locker room.
Yeah. I agree. Sandy says AJ Lee. That's a good one.
Oh, that would be great.
AJ Styles, who's been cleared, supposedly.
That would also be interesting. I hope that he gets used properly again.
Yeah. Let's see. JP says the biggest surprise will be someone that signs with WWE that we are not expecting. I mean, Black's on the way back, right? So, like, we don't know if he had a 30-day non-compete with AEW. If he does, or 90-day, if he does, he won't be there. If he did not, I mean, we know he and Triple H are best buddies. So
yeah,
if he comes back, it's possible it's tomorrow. I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me if he was granted his release, to be honest. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
I think we said Jay's name 3 times and he popped up.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's good. What's up, Jay? Jay, I almost messaged you to come on the show today, man. I totally should have. I just didn't know how busy you were. So yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna say I am thankful that he's not here, so he's not here to wind me up. I get enough of that through the week.
I'm talking about him coming on. You're like, no, I'm good. Just leave him off.
No, it's fine.
Ooh, yeah. Moving on. Change the subject. People mentioning CM Punk. What's up, Will? So, all right. So let's get to the meat of the bone here, Faye. Choice for the guys Royal Rumble. I mean, basically, it's between like John Cena, maybe Seth Rollins, probably CM Punk. I mean, who do you think?
I would selfishly like it to be Seth Rollins, but that's because Seth's my guy. I don't want it to be Punk. And I am a non-person when it comes to John Cena. He's never done it for me at all, ever. So I'm gonna say Drew, actually. Yeah, have it be Drew. Have everyone beat Logan Paul up again. That was a fun spot.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm not in favor of intentionally hurting anybody, but if we got a table or 3 or 5 or 12, we can put them through. That'd be okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Drew would be a good one. I understand we've just had all of those like rivalries and whatever, but I just think it would be nice to have somebody outside of that sphere of Roman, Punk, Seth, Cody.
I mean, Roman's name has been mentioned as well. Look, by the way, as we're talking about this, what about this idea that Cody's going? I just don't know what would be the point of Cody losing the title at Mania. I mean, that dude has been so good for this company. And people talk about, well, the company's bigger than everybody, and that having that title means, it's an honor, and I get it. But like, no one can't tell me that Cody didn't help move the needle back to WWE and really bring those people back. I mean, there's a distinct correlation between his return and when things started going on the uptick for WWE. No one's going to tell me any different.
Let Kevin Owens win it. I think Kevin Owens should have won it.
Really? And beat Cody?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't beat him. I wouldn't beat him right now.
I just really like Kevin Owens.
Yeah. No, I get it. I just wouldn't beat him right now. I'd let him hang on to it.
I don't think there's any storyline at the minute for Cody there's any sense in Cody losing it. There's no one where I've seen everyone, oh my God, you absolutely need to win the title. I think it's fine on Cody. I think it's fine. I don't think anything's amazing at the minute. I think it's fine. It's good. It works.
Yeah. I mean, he's towing the line. I mean, Paul Heyman called him a star. When you get called the top guy and the top star by Paul Heyman, that's high praise, honestly.
Yeah.
Am I crazy? I thought Miro was still AEW contract was still there. They're just not using him. Maybe I'm wrong. I could have sworn, but if he's not under contract and he was to come back, well, I guess Rusev Day will return. Who knows? Who knows, man? Let's see. Women's Royal Rumble. Who do we think here? Any idea? Any picks? I mean, it kind of seems like the whole Charlotte thing is a surprise entrant and foregone conclusion. Kind of feels like where they're heading, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. Bring Becky Lynch back, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
again, Naomi. I think I put it on like Naomi or someone like that.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about the product really in terms of who to win. Is Asuka due back soon?
I don't know the answer to that. I saw that supposedly she went online and was complaining because apparently someone was hitting on her or something. I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there's a few people that I'd like to see over Charlotte win it. So
Ray says Jade. Sandy says Grace. Brett says Bailey or Io. Jade's an interesting mention because there's some stuff there with Jade that I've possibly been asked not to talk about. There's some stuff there with Jade. And at first it looked like it was one way and not the other. Now it kind of feels like it's the other way and not the former. So we'll see. I hope everything works out. Yeah. JP says they will not put it on Naomi or Jade because of the storyline that they've got to set up right now. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Never can tell.
Yeah.
It's not like the companies pivot all the time for whatever reason. Shane says
they
like
do.
Go ahead.
Roxanne Perez. Yeah. I think I'd be happy with both of them. I don't know if Mandy Rose would come back, to be honest.
I don't know why you would. Mandy Rose, from what I understand, is making more money than she ever made in WWE.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for her, man. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think maybe bring up some of the NXT girls. Have them. I'm so tired of it just being full of legends.
Oh.
To be honest, like I just want it. It's like, yes, we know. And at what point do you stop building your company on not so much nostalgia, because nostalgia is always going to be a thing for it, and it's a thing for everything. But you don't need to drag everybody back. You can just recreate the moments with new people, and people will go, "Oh, that's a reference back to that thing," or whichever. It doesn't need to have the people there.
Like Owen's doing the stunner. That's a good callback. You don't need Austin. Maybe it's
like the whole. I'll reference back to an AEW moment in the first Owen tournament when I was literally on the way to Japan. I was in the airport and I was watching it. And I was watching Adam Cole versus Dax Harwood. And I said to my boyfriend, who doesn't really watch wrestling, but I was like, right, this bit here, Adam Cole's going to win by putting Dax in the sharpshooter. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because it's like he's Sean and Dax is Brett. And that's what happens. And like, that's the type of thing you need. You don't need it to be the actual people. You can pay homage and people love that. But it brings your new talent up. And it's just a nice way to bridge the two. But please just put new talent in the Rumble. That would be great. I'd like to see Masha. Masha, that's who I want to win.
Ooh, there you go.
I love Masha Slamovich. She's so nice.
Yeah. Oh, is she? Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's so
I'm
lovely.
with you. I'm with you about the callbacks. Like we've seen, and sometimes if you've watched a match, you'll be like, wait a minute, that looks familiar. And it'll be, it's because they're running the same spots as an homage to, yeah, it's awesome.
So cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Really good stuff. Let's see. JP says Trish Stratus, Nikki Bella to make their return to make another WWE run. Good heavens.
No.
I talked about Nikki last week and I was like, look, if she wants to come back and she's healthy and they want her, that's fine. But like, would she be the centerpiece of the division? I don't know that that's something they'd want to do at this point. Like,
I was tired of the Trish stuff last time. Like, I did not want that.
Yeah. I mean, she stuck around a lot longer than I thought she would, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't see it coming for that long.
But yeah, just Masha for me. I want Masha to win.
Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. I know who you want to win, but who do you think's going to win? Is it the same
Cody.
choice? Okay.
No, it'll be Cody. I know sometimes my heart what my heart wants, but my head's like, come on now, let's be realistic here.
Yeah, I like Kevin a lot, but I really believe that taking that belt off Cody.
Has Kevin Owens re-signed?
I'm sure he has. I can't say for certain, but I'd be shocked if he hadn't, because he was the next supposed free agent if he had decided, I think, that not to come back. Like, I mean, look, the Kevin Steen character is just sitting there waiting, and it's basically Owens, but a variation. I mean, he can do whatever he wants. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think he's re-signed, but again, I can't swear to it. But to the title change idea, look, there's a lot of titles in pro wrestling. Some would argue way too much, and I get it. But in my opinion, in my mind, whenever we talk about title change, explain to me why. And if the reason is, well, that guy's due. Yeah, but I don't know what that means. What's due mean? Okay, so he gets it. What's the plan now? Like, and if there's not a plan, maybe don't give the title to him. That's always the key is not just booking him to win it, but what are you going to do after he wins it? Yes. So if Cody loses, I love the chase. Exactly. The drama's in the chase, but what happens after the chase is over?
I don't think it would serve well for Cody to kind of have like this, not like a Hangman-esque turn, but like I would love to see a downtrodden Cody fall from grace type thing, because I just really like a lot of the WWE audience haven't seen Cody's like New Japan run. You know what I mean? And how good that was. But I don't think we're ready for that yet.
No, I don't think
not while he sells that many t-shirts.
No, yeah. Yeah, and now, Faye, they've got built-in cushion if they wanted to do it because Punk's back.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to go that route, but I'm with you. Like, they need to whoever they are, whether it's Hunter or whoever, they need to be sold on it. Like, tell me why we take our top guy and radically change him. There's got to be a better reason than, we want to see him be healed. Like, it didn't work for Austin. It didn't work for a number of other top guys through the years. It's just
didn't
a
work
shock.
For Seth. Seth just got shoved as a face.
Yeah.
He got shoved as a heel.
Yeah.
And he's great as a heel, but he's very likable, so he stops being a heel after a while because everyone just enjoys him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Let's see. JP says, I really, really hope Cody wins.
I think he'll get your wish.
Sandy says Owens is the best promo in the industry. Boy, that's high praise.
They are great, but again, they're funnier when he's angry and mad at everything. So
He's got like that little half scream where he's irritated is so funny.
So he's like a sort of like possum you found in the dumpster, and he's just really angry. He wants to tell the world about it. That's what I love. It's feral energy.
Not where I thought you were going. I was going to go with a petulant child who's pitching a fit. You know what I mean?
Oh, no. Angry possum?
Angry possum works as well. Let's see. Sandy says Cena loses every match until he wins the chamber match. He may win the chamber. Fernando says Sami is turning heel and will help KO win the championship.
Yes.
Well, Fernando, playing off of what we just talked about, justify a heel turn for me and tell me what you do next. Because if the answer is he and Sami, nah, because KO has turned on him. Like, why in the world would you ever trust this guy again? Like, I don't know. Not saying it won't happen, but I'd like to be sold on the idea of a heel Sami when we know his pop is freaking nuts. People love him. I don't know, man. That's tough for me. I don't know.
And he's kind of with like face bloodline at the minute as well.
Yeah.
Like, again, I think you could have like I think KO is great himself at the minute. I don't think he needs to have like a person around him. He's nice just being alone. Alone Kevin.
Yeah. Bobby Dagan says if he doesn't win the Rumble, he's winning the Elimination Chamber. Are we talking about Cena? Is that who we're talking about, Bobby? Let's see. Sandy said have Austin Theory turn on Waller. They won't be together forever, kids. We know that. They won't be together forever. The only other match that's actually announced, Faye, is DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns, the WWE Tag Team Championships.
Okay, so can I just say something right? I love the Motor City Machine Guns, like
Same.
So much. I didn't even know they were tag champs. What are WWE doing that, like, because I don't watch it, but I have TikTok and WWE stuff is on my feed a lot. I didn't know that they are not pushing that like as a like little promo bits or anything like that.
Oh, interesting.
Like, I didn't know. Shouldn't that be a thing that you like push out to people?
You would think.
Yeah.
I talked about this last week, but it reminds me. You brought it up. On Max, where AEW streaming, I have to search for AEW. Like,
it's not on the front page.
If I scroll, it'll be under my continue watching, and it might be a couple rows down. I'm like, why is this not in the slider at the top?
That's bizarre.
It should be in the slider, just the brand itself. I mean, one week you could run the Collision slider, next week Diamond, whatever it is, but yeah, it's not there. And I'm like,
that's so bizarre. I think just the way people are engaging and stuff, I think the way things are pushed out need to be better.
Yeah.
Because I understand that I know everything about the Seth and Punk storyline through like 30-second snippets on TikTok, but I don't know who your tag champs are. That feud doesn't involve a belt.
Yeah, good point. Really good point. Really good point. Sticking with this company for a bit, and then we're gonna run a video and then and then hit the last little bit here. Triple H to WWE Hall of Fame. This is not a surprise. If it was a work, he sure played it off well. But he's in there with DX. By the way, I could have sworn Evolution was in there as well, but maybe not.
I'm just surprised it's took this long, to be honest. But it just feels a bit weird now that he's like the big guy. Yes. Like, it's like he's giving himself a medal. Like, yes, the award goes to me. The Triple H award for being Triple H.
None of you wouldn't even be here without me. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think maybe, yeah. Congrats on your self award, I guess, Trips.
JP and I were talking about this in the chat, a direct message earlier. Like, you know, I mean, my thought on the whole thing is it's their Hall of Fame. They can do whatever they want.
Mhm.
Anyone that's in the Hall of Fame, and I've heard veterans like guys from the 80s. It means so much to guys. Like, and that's why I won't belittle it. Like, I met and worked with Jimmy Valiant after they put him in the Hall of Fame, and man, it meant a lot to him. It really did. Like, so I'm not going to sit here and put it down and say it's bogus or fake, but I will say it's their Hall of Fame. We're not voting on it. They don't ask what we think. Pro wrestling journalists, for lack of a better word, and I say that with all due respect, are not voting on it. It's just whoever they want to give it to. And they've got celebrities who've never worked a match, and it's fine. But Faye, it's their hall. They can do what they want.
I think there's a very nice there's a level of prestige, because even when you have guys in AEW, you have Copeland, you have Sting, they're introduced as Hall of Famers. It's said on commentary, so it
Oh, that's
carries
well
weight.
done. Yeah,
It carries weight outside of WWE.
Mm.
But I think Triple H should have gotten it earlier when he wasn't in control of the company, so it doesn't feel like it's cheapened it. Not cheap, but you know what I mean? Like, this feels less significant.
Well, they put Ross and Lawler in while they were working together, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you.
I just think where he's like at the top
yeah.
and it's going to him. I hope it was a surprise. Then that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I hope that was just a genuine thing that they didn't tell him about, and then that's great, and congrats. I'm a DX girl, so like, yeah.
I mean, you know, we don't have to go down the rabbit hole of Triple H, but you know, I watched in real time this guy come up from terrorizing. In real time, I watched this and watched him progress. And I'm here to tell you, if anybody here was not here in real time to watch it, and all you know is the clips that they show you, they are not telling the whole story. Like, there were so many weeks I'm like, oh my God, this guy again. Is he ever going to put the mic down? Stop talking. Like, every promo was 20 minutes. And
I watched WWE like religiously when I was younger during the Attitude Era. Like, DX was like my thing.
yeah.
But yeah, congratulations is what I'm gonna say.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Like I said, it's a, and you know what? I'm not a hater like some people are, but if you tell me Tom lists the top 10 greatest of all time, he will not be in my top 10.
Oh, not at all.
That's me talking.
But funnily enough, I'd probably put I'd probably absolutely put the likes of Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura, all above Triple H.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Kevin Owens absolutely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I'd like that.
Interesting.
I don't think you should have to be of a certain age or retired to be in it if your accomplishments are big enough.
I mean,
are the Hardys in it?
Who's in it? The Hardys are in it?
The Hardy Boys? Are they in it?
I didn't think they were. Are they?
They should be. They should be in there.
Oh, for sure. Well, now that they're doing business with TNA, Fernando says, "How in the world does Triple H get inducted over the Rock?" Where's Demolition? Look, here's what I'll say: Barry Darsow and Bill Eadie both deserve to be in WWE Hall of Fame, and if not as Demolition, as whoever, but they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I won't argue that. You know, if we were talking about a different sort of Hall of Fame, maybe my opinion would be different. But those guys together, they were a really good team. Individually, they were really good workers. So,
it makes me sad you're never going to see the Shield in the Hall of Fame.
Never say never, but Mox seems pretty hell-bent on...
Oh, yeah, I'm never setting foot there ever again.
Well, and on top of that, he's just, despite what anyone says about Death Rise, we'll talk about here in a minute, despite what anyone says about that gimmick, like, he's got so much freedom now that he never had in WWE, and like, if you have a brain in your head, you know how to cut a promo, you know how to work, and you're well liked backstage, and you've got freedom, you got a job in that company, man. And
yeah.
any company that you want to work with, and like he couldn't go to WWE and do the things he's doing right now. There's no way, you know.
No.
Sandy says Matt said on Chris Van Vliet that he wants to be in the Hall of Fame when they are retired from wrestling. Well, there you go.
There we go. Thank you very much, Sandy.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to talk a little bit about WrestleMania 41, but I'd like us to go ahead and get to AEW first. But before we do that, kids, before we hit the last half of the show, and trying to be considerate of Faye's time here, as we know, it's not exactly 10 to 5 for her. Okay. Everybody do me a favor. Take 22 seconds out of your life and watch this.
Boink Studios is the home of Tom Clark's main event, Tom Clark's 6M podcast, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Visit the site today for links to every podcast platform, social media, special announcements, and a lot more. Check out the site and bookmark today, boinkstudios.com.
There you go, kids. Boinkstudios.com. Please go check it out. I update the website as often as I possibly can. She's updated right now. And links to the reason I like it. Look, if I were a viewer, if I were following these shows myself, I like it because there's links to everything. There's a link to Faye's socials. There's a link to the Untitled Wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
There's a link to all the hosts I've worked with and to their shows. There's a link to all my shows, our shows together.
It's a treasure trove of links.
I'm just saying, that's all it really is. Thanks for boiling it down. It's a bunch of
nice, like in Aladdin's cave. It's great.
It's a bunch of faces, a lot of Tom, and links. There you go. You know what?
You love it.
I was gonna say I never heard it.
It's like going to like Costco or something, and everything's there and it's shiny. There's no hot dogs though. You'll have to provide that yourself.
There's one, and you gotta pull them off the shelf. Yeah. This is a 3-pack. I need a 3-pack of this and a 10-pack of that.
There you go.
So, kids, by the way, if you've not smashed the like button and you're still watching live with us, please do so. And if you're listening after the fact, boinkstudios.com and also Boink Studios on the YouTube. Thank you. Please and thank you. Let's talk about this Death Riders thing, Faye, because this thing's catching heat 6 ways from Sunday. People are not happy with it. But as we know, people aren't happy with anything because everybody wants to complain.
Yeah.
I've made my feelings known in the past. You, however, have not, at least on my show. So give me your take on the Death Rider stuff.
I really like it. I think I get that people don't like things that drag their heels. But I feel like in the grand scheme of things, this isn't. And we all just we want instant gratification to a storyline straight away. But where is the fun in that? I think some decisions probably should have gone a bit less. And I think some directions in terms of you had all of AEW like Daniel Garcia, like, I'm going to beat you, such and such. And then none of that happened. And it just sort of fizzled out where everybody went chasing after their own titles. And I hope that sort of maybe gets dragged back into it where it's like, oh, well, where were you? No, you stopped. You stopped defending AEW and you set your sights on gold because you're not focused. But I am not tired of it. I like a long storyline. I do enjoy a long booking. And this really isn't long in the grand scheme of Hangman winning a belt after like 3 years. I love Mox. I think it's about time we had a side of Mox that was irredeemable. Because his like stabbing the Young Bucks and Kenny with screwdrivers, everyone was like still like, yeah, Blackpool Combat Club, these guys are cool. No, I want to be horrified when I'm watching these people, and I want to feel that what they're doing is like, oh, my favorites, everyone's in danger. I like it. I'm enjoying it. It's creating a sense of dread. Like a dark cloud. It's
This
good.
is why me doing shows by myself is fine, but it's always much better when I have people on, because I would not have had any of those viewpoints, and you make a lot of sense. And I like that you're deep when you talk about it, because
I've had a
you're
lot of time to think about John Moxley.
Careful, the authorities are listening. No, no, I appreciate that, because I would never have come at it from that angle. But it's a lot of. All right, let me put it to you this way. All due respect to AEW, you may have just given this thing more color and more background than they have. Because I agree with JP, this thing lacks direction. My biggest complaint, and shout out Phil Lindsay, by the way, my biggest complaint to Phil since this whole thing started was he kicked this off by saying something's coming. Okay. I got to do this now. You guys don't understand. None of you understand, but I do. You'll be glad I did it later. Something's coming. And he said it for 3 weeks. Suddenly, he stopped saying it. In the midst of him saying it, Shivani, Excalibur, they're all going, oh, what's coming? What's he mean? What does he mean? And then suddenly, stop saying it.
You know what it should have been?
Uh,
Josh Barnett.
I am totally disagreeing with you on that. Who brought that up?
It was me.
Was it you?
It was me. Yeah.
Oh, man, I got to go off on you again. No.
It was either me or is Jay telling you that I'd said this? Because I was saying
Maybe
this
so.
long afterwards.
Maybe so.
But yeah, I think the Darby, the Eddie injury really put the wheels on put a different trajectory on this, because I think that was meant to be Eddie's place.
I'll bite on that. That's fine. But
I think it still could be. I think that's why maybe they're taking. They know Eddie's back in training again.
Yeah.
I think they're just finding people for Mox to make and the Death Riders to make examples of.
Yeah.
Until Eddie gets back. I think they really want to do that, which I'm fine with. But I think this dismantling of burning down of the forest, as Mox says, I think it needs to have worth every time you're doing it. I don't think it can just be coming out and starting with like, oh, we're just going to beat you up because it's fun or whatever. I think each target needs to be like when they were recruiting Lee Moriarty, when they were recruiting Wheeler Yuta, where it was like, these are the new people. And it's like, well, now you're my targets. Now you're the pillars of AEW. I need to knock each one of you down. That's what needs to happen. I think maybe you could go after Jack Perry next. I think you'd go after MJF. I don't want MJF in the title picture anyway. I don't at all. But I think you can knock down these pillars and completely, if you're there to shake the foundations, then do it. Don't just stand there and talk about it. Do action. I think. Sorry, I've completely gone off on one again, but
no, it's fine, because you're not wrong about trying to come up with something, but constant heat is one of the things that caused a lot of people to stop watching Raw, because oh my God, every week with the heat, whether it was Hunter or whoever it was, like every week, Bloodline, every week there's heat. Like at some point we got to start having some things pay off. Like, and having said all that, this thing has been, in my opinion, has been so messily booked. Like they laid out John a few weeks ago. It was Jay and Hangman. Was it Jay and Hangman? Yeah.
Hangman and Orange. Yeah,
and I'm like, let me get this straight. You want to sell that pay-per-view to me by laying out this guy who, by the way, should be untouchable. But they laid him out in the ring. And I'm like, you're not going to cause me to buy the pay-per-view because you laid him out. I was going to watch it anyway. Like, protect him. Roman was protected.
And the thing is as well, is that what I don't like, the one thing that doesn't sit right with me is that they don't need the little evil slapstick villain tactics. You don't need to low blow people. You can just beat them up. You can do that. We've seen you do it.
Yeah.
We've seen that you're an accomplished wrestler. If you're an elevation of what William Regal really wanted, then show people. You don't need to be like this like, oh, little, it's not even like a cheap shot with a knuckle duster or barbed wire or anything like that. It's like the stuff that they're doing with the little cheap shots feel beneath the Death Riders in a sense, I think.
And, to that point, there's something else I don't think's helping. Is that you've got like 4 different guys talking about the world championship right now? Look,
Yeah.
I get it. In a real world, everybody in UFC is talking about the champ. Everybody in boxing is talking about the champ. If you want to treat this as a legitimate thing, the idea is, of course, as you know, why in the world would you ever want to become a pro wrestler if you don't want to be world champion? Austin has said it so many times. A lot of other veterans have said it, and they're not wrong. But Faye, when you've got 4 different guys talking about that killer, psycho, crazy man who's world champion, that, in my opinion, is too much. That he's not a monster, because the minute MJF put his name in his mouth, they should have took MJF down.
Yeah.
But none of that happens. They just let Christian talk and MJF talk and Hangman talk. And I'm like,
I'm tired of the Christian thing now. I'm so tired of it. I don't want it there. I don't think Edge should be going after. Sorry, I don't think Adam Copeland should be going after the title at the minute.
Agreed.
I think you could take MJF out of it. I think you could just wipe MJF out and make him have to feel the humiliation of climbing the ranks. I think maybe putting him down a peg or 2 would be good for his character. I think you could absolutely have Rated FTR take the trios away from them. I'd be fine with that. They're not a well-oiled machine because Yusa's having a crisis.
Yeah. He just needs a haircut. That's all.
Oh, he needs a hug and a blanket. But honestly, I think you can have that, and then maybe have them go after singles. I don't know. But with the World Championship, I think they made a mistake of not having Hangman screw Christian over for the contract, have him try and cash in on Mox. Hangman switched contracts before. That would have been a lovely little throwback, where he did the thing with Matt Hardy and he signed the contract. I think that would be a nice little, like, you shouldn't have trusted me with papers or whatever. I think that would have been really good. I just think that needs to get away from Christian now. He's fun. He's entertaining.
Yeah.
But he's had that contract for too long.
And I just, when you got a babyface champion, cool. Have all these guys coming out, fine. But again, when you're heel, it is Leatherface is your champ, then
everybody's so evil at the minute as well.
Yes. Well, Ray and I are going to tackle this next week. But this idea that they have, and this comes from the Bucks. This came from Cody when Cody was there. They just don't believe in heel and face. They believe that modern pro wrestling audiences are more sophisticated than that. They should be that we're over that now. We don't need those. It's tired old traditions that need to be changed. And I'm like, you're all wrong. And congrats on the Max deal. They're evidently turning a profit. I don't want to see them fail. I watch every week, and I don't think I know everything, but you're wrong. Like, I'm sorry. And there's a lot of smart people behind that curtain, Faye. But again, I will die on this hill. Don't care what it takes. The minute that you look at me in the eyes and tell me heel and face doesn't matter, you are dead freaking wrong. The crowd cares about it. Because if I'm wrong, Faye,
what tunnel you come out of?
Thank you. Exactly. And they care about it
too. A lot in AEW. Like, the tunnel matters.
Remember when Hangman was trying to figure out which tunnel to walk through that night?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter, right? Come on, dude.
Remember when Bryan Danielson actively addressed it to the crowd and went through the crowd? He was like, I'm not going to tell you which tunnel I'm going through, and then left through the crowd.
Yeah.
The Bucks used to joke about it on AEW, on BTE.
Yeah. Well, here's a good example. When AR Fox worked Swerve, was it last week? AR is flat out heelish.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not flipping off the crowd, but get out of here, doing that thing. And then this past Wednesday he worked Ricochet. Come on, guys, support me. Come on.
Yeah, it
and I'm
doesn't
like,
make sense.
freaking, what am I looking at right now? What just
Yeah.
happened? Come on, man. Yeah. I mean, again, I'm not saying that. Well, Tom Clark said if they just got heel and face right, they'd get 1 million viewers. No, but I do believe, Faye, that compounded over time with further bad booking, this is where we are now. Where
I
they got
understand that.
600,000 viewers. And that's fine. I don't care about ratings either. It's fine. But I guarantee somebody in that company cares about ratings. They can say all day they don't. Someone does, even if it's just one guy behind a keyboard is like, man, what are we going to do about,
Yeah.
Come on. Anyway, I don't mean to ignore you kids. I tried to, by the way, Fernando won the game here. Darby picked the wrong time to climb mountains. Death Rider's angle needs to get wrapped up.
Darby picked it's never going to be a right time to climb a mountain.
No.
Why is he doing it? Like,
why? What's the old joke? Why are you going to climb that mountain? Because it's there. That's the joke.
No.
Yeah.
Darby has the weight of a sickly Victorian child. He does not need to be going up mountains.
He's got the pox. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's consumption. He's very frail and he needs to go to the seaside to clear up his condition. He does not need to be up Everest. He's like Tiny Tim.
He is like Tiny Tim.
Yeah.
Oh my, that's good. Thank you, sir. Yeah, my goodness. Fernando says, what was the Death Riders taking out elderly men like Crockett Express supposed to do? I love Ricky and Robert. I grew up with Ricky and Robert. They're class acts, but I gotta agree. Like, they did it. They jumped him like 3 times or something backstage. I'm like, y'all can stop now. Like,
Yeah.
Good Lord, we got it. You're bad. You're evil. I don't know. Marie's here. What's up, Marie? She says, I love John Moxley, but this Death Riders thing needs a purpose. Purpose is a good word. It's hard to enjoy the ride when you don't know the destination. So I will disagree with you to the point. It's okay that I don't know the destination, but I need to feel like we're going somewhere. You know what I mean?
Instead
for me,
of just waiting for someone to come back from the gas station in the back of a car.
Yeah. And then he says things like, I'm trying to create thousands of John Moxleys. At that point, I'm like, John, I have no idea what you mean. I don't know.
I don't even think Renee knew what he meant during that, though.
And by the way,
looking at him like.
By the way, why is Renee interviewing her husband backstage? Like,
they were famously kept apart for this reason. Yeah, I didn't get that either.
You've got other interviewers. I would never have them on camera together ever until it mattered and you needed to do it, which means someone put their hands on her, whether it was Claudio or whoever, or a face or whoever, and then boom, you see it happening in real time. But no,
because it happened it sort of happened with Hangman, like, and the explosive rants, and then Moxley like murdered him. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. It's that thing. Yeah.
James, I see you, my friend. I appreciate you very much. Said everything. I agree with you. Everything you said about Raw. Are the Hurt Scenic get face or heels? And good night, everyone.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.
Yes, is my answer.
That's the point. That's the point. And I talked to Phil.
They feel like heels to me. They feel like popular heels. They don't feel like faces.
They're popular heels, which doesn't work. All you people out there listening, watching now or after the fact, and you think popular heels works, you're wrong. I'm sorry. And
I enjoy
Tom,
popular heels.
Well, who?
I do, with like when the Young Bucks were heels and stuff. I'm biased.
No.
But to be fair, I am that person that will still boo, that will still cheer a heel in front of a crowd full of boos.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I do it all the time.
I don't really break it down like that, like I used to. I don't really break it down like I used to. Like, for me, it's more like I want to see how everyone behaves in a match. And, like, give an example. Hangman does this every match now. He'll do a move and then gesture to the crowd. And I'm thinking, what are you doing? Aren't you heel? Why would you even care what they think? Number one.
I know he does now because he's considered the weight of his actions. But he's
guess.
said it in his interview recently. Like he's like, the only fans that I want are behind me in everything. If they see Swerve Strickland, I want them to start a fight with him in a parking lot.
Yeah, I saw that. It was really good, actually.
Which is great. But
Yeah.
I think Hangman, he's like, okay, well, even if I'm a bad guy or whatever, if how the world sees me, if my fans are still there, I want them to be ride or die.
Yeah. And I get it, but here's
I don't
something.
think anyone overthinks this as much as I do when I do these things.
Oh, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
It's all I do. I said when I kicked it off, thinking about my thinking. That's kind of who I am. Like, it's what I do. I mean, I'll do one better. And we could do this all day, like Captain America. But Swerve was in his baby's room in front of the crib.
Swerve is still the bad guy. It's irredeemable.
It's irredeemable. And I don't care because it's not real. But in my mind, your continuity, watch this. Continuity in AEW. Okay, that was a joke. There is no continuity in AEW. Everybody get your laughs in. But supposedly, for whatever continuity that they think that they're writing that's not real, he never got his comeuppance. Well, Tom, the Cage, I don't hear about it. He came back. He's healthy. He's fine. He never had a come to Jesus moment where he was on camera.
He got his house burnt down.
That's not it. That's not good enough. He never, like a man, admitted, you know what? And there was like a throwaway line in one promo one night that he never repeated again, that maybe things went too far. Something to that effect. I didn't feel any of that. I'm like, dude, in his baby's room, you never once said, you know what? Hey, man, that's on me, man. I look, by the way, hey, man, I got kids, or whatever he wants to say. I got a niece or nephew. I would never have done anything to your child. I just wanted to get at you. But from me to you, I went too far. We never got that. And
no. We got, I did some bad things. It's like, you think? Yeah. Believe me, I have all of these promos stacked in my head. No, like, he got that thing where he's like, I've done some bad things. I'm not shying away from that. It's like, but you are, because you are still this, you don't pretend to be anyone else. And the crowd still love you for it. And I understand Hangman's anger. But what you did, if someone was in my house with my baby, I'd burn down their house. What are they doing with my baby?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's a rational, you know what, right? It sounds ridiculous, but to a parent, that reaction that Hangman had is completely, like, fine. And Hangman was kind of going on like a simmer. And then Swerve was like, and I saw and I know where you live now as well. And I saw your wife.
Yeah.
Hangman is not getting a redemption story.
There's no redemption story for him to get.
Happening. He has destroyed the roots of what he used to be.
Yeah.
And he is just left with this broken. He is a mishmashed thing of all of this stuff that's happened to him. His insecurities and his anger is just all mishmashed, and the forest is burnt down.
Yeah.
And this is what's left of the ashes.
Yeah. I mean, again, talk about overthinking stuff. That's me. Like, the more we talk about this, the more I'm like, yeah. And by the way, I love Swerve. I was very happy when he won the title. He crushed it.
Delightful. When
he got there, I couldn't wait to see what he was going to do. I miss him coming out to Ain't Nobody by Shaka Khan. I love that. Best entrance, one of the best entrances of all time, in my opinion. Just love it. But hit the character of Swerve. I
enjoy it immensely. I love it. But I love a bad guy. I love a complex, but not even like a heel. I love just like a twisted duality of what he is. I like it. I want to unpick at it. On Fernando's thing, I don't agree with it though, Fernando. I said it about Chris Statlander. Why is she face? I know the Bucks are going to come back face, and I will hate it because what they have done is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I want the book. The only way that works is if the Bucks come back and are immediately murdered by the Death Riders.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they beat up Brandon Cutler looking for the Bucks. They were like, "Where you going? We're just getting started." I want them to come back and get murdered by the Death Riders, and then maybe you can make a face out of Hangman rescuing the Bucks or having Kenny, whatever you want. Even though Kenny's just on a murdering spree at the minute, and that's fine. Doesn't need to be anything else. Let him do his flippy dips. But yeah, like I don't like it when we just wipe the slate, because Chris Statlander broke up the best friends, and we're just supposed to be like, hey, that's fine.
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
and enjoy your no, I don't care. You broke up the best friends, and we're meant to just act like that's okay. No.
And Fernando, to your point about Roman Reigns never apologized. I know we're splitting hairs over stuff that isn't real, and so I'm not trying to pick a fight because it's all silly pro wrestling, as we all know, and that's fine. Roman stuff involved his family, and that doesn't justify heel actions, Faye, but you could always chalk that up to, well, they're family. You know,
and
they're gonna
have hugs. They did sort of like hug it out.
Yeah. But like,
and he was
again,
like, "Oh, I'm proud of you." You know what I mean? Like, they didn't say the word sorry, but they did do a kind of like reconciliation.
Yeah, and so you can chalk that up to family matters. Like, it's still weird, but it's pro wrestling logic. When you start following pro wrestling logic, you have to stay in the realm of pro wrestling logic to make pro wrestling logic be logical.
It's a soap
I need a
opera.
nap. Soap opera. I hate that.
It's a soap opera where people punch each other in the face.
Yeah, I get it, but I've always hated that comparison. I hate soap opera.
You see, I love a cheesy soap or a cop procedural. Like, they're great.
Cop procedural. That's fine. You know what I mean? But someone's mentioning Corbin. Chad Too Bad's mentioning Corbin. Corbin is like AEW. I don't think there's been any announcement about him going to AEW. I think he's going to go to Japan first. Is supposedly what I've heard.
I'd love to see that. Yeah.
And by the way, for the first time that I can recall, someone's taken my former wrestling name because Corbin's going by Bishop something. Remember? Hey, did you hear Bishop something? I forget what he's going to be called now. But Bishop was my working name for years.
Really?
And no one ever had. No, I'm not saying no one ever had it, but no one on the main stage had it, put it that way. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Bishop something. He's got a reason for using that name, by the way, but I haven't looked into it. But he supposedly has a reason.
He's just a huge Tom Clark fan.
Oh, you know what?
That's the real reason.
That's it. It's funny because when I got in, I wanted something that was biblical for some weird reason so that I could twist it and distort it. So first I had deacon, then I had prophet. Thank goodness I didn't use those because they're such throwaway names. And then somehow I just landed on Bishop because he was like at the time, he was my favorite X-Man.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I just chose Bishop. That Bishop looks way cooler than I did. I promise.
See, I got told today that my name sounds like a wrestler name, and I'll take that.
Your name does
Faye
sound
Devine.
like a wrestling name. Your name could be a wrestling name. A name. It could also be like a drag queen name. It also could be, it fits everything. And that's your real, have I asked you if that's your real last name?
That's my real last name, yeah.
Wonderful. People would kill to have a real cool name.
I've had so many of my friends like, can I just marry you to have your surname? And I'm like, no.
Gimmick infringement. Who'd I infringe? Oh, I see that. Oh, I see. Corbin, I'm coming for you. No, I get it. Yeah. Well, I flipped the banner to booking because we've talked about it, and we've talked about it. But hey, remember whoever asked that question about Hurt Syndicate, whether or not they were heels, and I never answered?
Yes.
Here's what I'll tell you. Again, me and Phil talked off mic when we did the 6M the other night, and he's of the same opinion. Like, Hurt Syndicate, they're awesome. Benjamin and Lashley, great, blowing the roof off the joint. Never should have had them take those tag belts from Private Party. You took You took your two guys, your tag team, not a tag team that ever worked for anybody else, but your original tag team, one of your original tag teams here, and you crushed them.
Yeah.
In the first match, you couldn't have drugged this out for 6 weeks. It
I
couldn't
know.
have been.
Isn't it like Revolution soon?
Look, they ain't getting those belts back. You know that. Not from Syndicate.
I know.
And you know, I said this on the show before, but they did that whole thing where they were growing up. You know, Amazing Red cuts that promo talking about what happened. You guys were supposed to be taking this seriously. You're coming out to shots. What are we doing? Or do you not want to win? So they get that pep talk. They beat the Bucks. They change their song. They change their outlook. The next week, they're coming out to shots. The Velvet Rope's back. They're drinking with MVP. And I'm like, oh, these guys are going to lose these belts because they just undid all the forward progress they made. They put them right back in the hole they were in before. So now the private party we see today, Faye, is the same private party that was around 5 years ago. It's the same guys.
I just think that we've had so long for a bad guy team and a big team. It was nice to have a homegrown tag team hold the belts because every year, and we were joking about this on our predictions pod for next year the other day. Tasty said one year, oh, it's going to be Proud and Powerful. They're going to win the belt. And they broke up. And then he was like, that's going to be Best Friends. And they broke up. And it's like, we are running out of homegrowns here, people.
Yeah,
Put the belts on somebody that is like an AEW original because you need to push these young guys.
And they cut a promo after the match, and MVP gave him props and said that wasn't an easy win. Those guys are the real deal. And I'm thinking, that's wonderful. No one cares. Like, it's great that they had him do that, because but it doesn't matter because on the first shot out the gate, they lose the belts. Faye had this thing going on all the way till the pay-per-view, and then they lose the belts. That would have been different. And if it would have been, they got this close, and man, those private party kids, we can't pin them. Like they counter the moves. They're in and out quick.
So quick, the fluid, and that's like, completely agree.
But hey, whatever. They do what they do. We just watch them do it. That's all we can do.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing I really had before we open the floor here, and again, I'm trying to get you out of here at a decent time. AEW Grand Slam, they're already really talking about it. The Mariah May and Tony Storm stuff's happening. And then, of course, Ospreay and Omega versus the Dawn Callis family. I like how people are doing that now, and I was the one doing it before. I started it. I'm just kidding. Like, there's not thousands of white dudes doing the same things I'm doing right now. That's fine. I mean, Australia's how far is Australia from you? Is it quite a ways?
Too far. It's like it's like a day's flight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably that far. Well, it could be like 36 hours for me. I don't know.
I think it's longer for you guys, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, what are you hoping to come out of this? Is it too early to know? I mean, we don't even know who.
I just feel like it's wild that they're hyping up Grand Slam when Revolution's around the corner. When's Grand Slam?
Grand Slam is the 13th
of Feb.
February 15th.
Oh, 15th. So it's like I don't know what to make of it because in my head I think of Grand Slam and I think of Arthur Ashe and I think of Eddie Kingston.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this just kind of like, it's going to be great because it's going to be nice to see like Tony. I think, oh my gosh, Tony Storm. Her little thing was brilliant with Mariah. So good. Have Buddy Matthews win a title. Have him win a title. Yeah.
Hounds of Hell.
Do that. Oh, please. No. Have them win the trios.
I mean, if you really want to have a knockdown drag out tag team match, they face the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah.
That would be a knockdown drag out tag team match.
Yeah, I think so too. I would even say though, like if you want to feel like Malachi is well and truly gone, have I love you too, Marie. Have Buddy win the title. Have Buddy win a singles title. I think them all having singles titles would feel more impactful than them having a trios or a tag team.
Mm.
It's like something that Malachi couldn't do.
Because I mean, storyline wise, he couldn't.
He
They
couldn't
could never
do
seem
it.
to.
You know what I mean?
Seem to put it together. God, I remember when they were so hot facing Lucha Bros, and it was
They're my
red
favorites.
hot. Oh.
Like,
I'm like, let these guys work each other every week from now on. Like,
yeah. Remember how good the Elite versus the House of Black were? That was one of the best That was one of the best trio matches ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could just have Nick Jackson face people for ages though in singles matches. He's such and it happens so little that when it happens, you're like, oh my god, this was really fun.
Yeah, I mean the Bucks can still go. It's just a matter of, you could argue
finding their right opponent. I think.
Well, you could argue they've gotten lazy recently. Like there's some serious, from what I understand, some talk about, how serious are they? Are they, they had all this time off coming because all their dates were filled, and I'm thinking, this is your company, man. This you started this. It's named after your gimmick. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
I get that.
What do you mean your dates are? I'd be like, look, Tony, whatever you need. And I get it.
I don't think that's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Really?
It is. They
that's
legit.
Disappointing.
I know they legit had dates that when they left, they did that gimmick of shredding paperwork on TV. They were done for the rest of the year. That's why they took them off TV.
That's ridiculous.
Crazy.
You should be on TV all the time if it's your company and you wrestle.
I agree. Yeah.
If you love something, put your heart in it.
And by the way, the reason the heel authority thing does not work in any company. Well, Tom, it sells tickets. I don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't care. The reason it doesn't work is it makes zero logic. So the two EVPs, that night they came down with the gas can. They're going to set Darby on fire. Let me see if I understand. It is your responsibility as EVPs to help run this company. You're going to go set one of your top draws on fire. The guy that sells merch, people buy tickets to see him. Pro wrestling logic, that makes zero sense. Well, Tom, their egos stop. Like,
Also, the setting people on fire is not a Bucks thing at all either. They're not.
Yeah.
They can be despicable, and I get that. Like, that's fine. But I just... Hi, Sarah.
What's up, Sarah? How are you?
I don't think that it's I don't think that it's a very good thing for them to do. It just doesn't seem like they're not evil. They're like mischievous. But I don't want Will and Kenny to dethrone the Hurt Syndicate. I want Kenny and Will to implode. I don't think they should ever work together, really, in the way of like they're like dynamite. But going back to the Buddy Matthews thing, I think he should win a singles title. I think that establishes both him and Brody as singles competitors, as a different cloth, I think, from Malachi. I think they could do with doing something like that. Because if they're doing this thing where they're standing on their own, and they didn't need Malachi, then do the thing that Malachi couldn't do. But I think it would be a great thing at Grand Slam for him to win a title.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. And people are talking about in the chat about Toni Storm. Look, whoever said that it was too soon, I agree, it was too soon. Was it predictable? Sure, we all knew how it was going to end. She's going to main event in Australia, and they did it a month out, I guess, to increase the buy rate, even though we know what's going to happen. Faye, to me, it happened way too soon. They could have really had fun with her.
You could have done it on the Go Home show. That would have been amazing.
yes, you could still book the match, you could still promote it, and then on the go home show, it's all a scam. She was scamming her the whole time. But now,
like her makeup getting a bit more smudged as it
every
goes on.
week,
Like
yes,
like little cracks, and like maybe like she comes out wearing like all black and white gear, but it's the same timeless, but it's the same rock star Tony gear, but it's
Yeah.
grayscale.
Yeah.
Could have done something like that. Maybe she tried to do a close up and then was like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
Should have seen the cracks instead of everything just collapsing at once.
Yeah. Even like the cameraman in the ring, and show the cameraman in the ring and him go, "Oh, you're too close.
Yeah.
Hold on, bro. You're too close."
Yes.
And like a little, wait a minute, too soon, in my opinion. They could have had so much fun, and they had fun for 5 minutes, but like the thing happens last week and she says the weird stuff about pulling off various body parts. I'm like,
that was brilliant. That was
hey
so
man,
good.
whatever you want to do, I'm here for it. But like, and then this week, Mariah comes out and cuts a promo uninterrupted, and basically, nah, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, okay.
No, you should be terrified.
You should be terrified.
This is your own the bed of your own making, or the chickens coming home to roost.
Yes. The promo should have been backstage where they're trying to find her to ask her what she thinks, and they can't find her.
Yeah.
And she's hiding in a room, in a broom closet. Like, you keep her away from me. I don't care what you have to do. Whatever, man. We're armchair quarterback.
I think you could have done like a bit with Mina beforehand. I think you could have done lots of little things instead of just rushing through. I think sometimes, again, it's that thing of being too eager to get to the end.
JP says, I heard the ratings drops drastically for the main event on Dynamite. Again, like they're simulcasting to Max, which is probably, Faye, far more than anybody ever thought this company would ever do in its existence, is simulcast to a major streamer. This is not a small deal. This is not they got lucky. No. I mean, people in that company that signed them, that kept them on TBS, that goes to Max, all of that, Faye, they believe in AEW. Like, they're doing things right. Their ratings suck. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I don't know. I can't answer that. It seems like it should.
I don't know, purely because over here in the UK, even though it's on ITV4 and it's way more accessible, which is why it's more popular over here. The majority of people that I know watch it on Triller Fight. It's like we stream it, so all this thing about ratings, everyone in the UK is just kind of like, okay, I guess. Because to us, none of the streaming things have ever mattered before. In the way of like, it's like, okay, well, how's everyone's streaming thing? Because everybody watches it over here on Triller. All of a sudden, it's like ratings we're in this era where ratings aren't a thing. Because Netflix has got WWE.
Yeah.
Over in the UK completely.
I mean, terrestrial television is going away. I mean, it's
sad.
The major networks have their own streamers. So why in the world would they care about, here's the thing, I'll tell you, Faye, don't know how it is for your country, but there's a lot of people in this country that will not get rid of their terrestrial TV. They're going to continue to pay for DirecTV and Dish Network. They're going to continue to pay for their charter cable, for their local cable company. They're going to continue to pay these high prices. They're going to continue to not care about Wi-Fi, even in 2025.
Not a lot of people pay for. They do, but not a lot of people pay for Sky or anything like, which is our version of like cable.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of choice on our free TV, and AEW is on our free to access TV.
Right.
Everybody has access to. And the pay-per-views also get streamed on that too. So you don't even need to buy it. You don't even need to buy a pay-per-view over here.
Right.
They're available. It's why when, like, I don't know if you watched it when you watch All In, why the crowd's so hot for the pre-show, because everybody's already in there because we don't see wrestling. So everybody's already dead excited to watch even just the pre-show matches.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Uh,
But, I think it's going to be amazing. I think wrestling in places where it's not normally is always a big thing anyway. And I think with the talent that they have with Tony and Kyle and Buddy and then everybody else, I think it's going to be phenomenal. And maybe we'll get to see a Mark Davis return as well, which would be amazing.
that'd be good. Yeah. I mean, they brought him back for a bit and then they took him off TV again. I hope he gets a direction. Man, I really liked.
Yeah. Remember when we all thought that Kyle was going to be a fish out of water with Mark gone? And then, he proved us wrong.
He proved everybody wrong.
Yeah.
The floor's wide open, kids. We're going to make this quick so we can let Faye get to her night or her sleep, whatever it is she'd like to get to. E is way late. E, you do not get a cookie today. Let's see. Ray. Here we go. NWA or Cypress Hill? I will say NWA.
Same.
Nas or 50 Cent?
50 Cent, just for his pettiness with Ja Rule.
I'm inclined to agree with that. And if Adam Cole invited you to the grand opening of the Adam Cole fruit and vegetable stand, you think he come up with a better name for that, and said you could have a pound of any combination of fruits and vegetables, what would you get?
What about Adam Cauliflower's stand?
Oh, that's nice. That's that clever British humor that I bumped up against for a year on the TED show.
Vegetables, broccoli, fruit, strawberries.
I love broccoli. I love
straw babies. There we go.
I love zucchini too. Have you had zucchini shredded like pasta?
Oh, aren't they zoodles?
Yeah.
No. Is it nice?
Oh, dude, so here's what you do. I don't boil them. I don't know if anyone's boiling them. But what I do is I get a big saucepan, do the ground beef, then add spaghetti sauce, and then cook the noodles in the sauce. Actually, first thing I would do is do the noodles in a saucepan with some salt and pepper and some garlic first, toss them, let them soften up a bit, and then finish them in the sauce. First time we cooked them from my kid, he had no idea it wasn't pasta.
Oh, really?
They're really good, for real. Yeah.
My son loves pasta. He just had pasta with zucchini in for his tea, actually.
Oh, man. Wow. Let's see. If you could also call a friend and they could come, please call me. Yes. Later when you get dinner, which included barbecue brisket, French fries, and a sliced sweet potato, could I join as well? Yes.
Yes, I love brisket. I've never had sweet potato pie, though.
It's awesome. It's so good.
I can't. When I go to America, I'm absolutely going to have to try all these foods.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
We got a lot of stuff here that'll kill you quick. Well, maybe not quick, but, we got that too. But there's other stuff, Chiefs or Eagles in the Super Bowl?
Eagles.
Look, I don't care how many people hate on Kansas City. They have a dynasty, and I know people don't like to hear that, but I say Chiefs, man, all the way.
Oh, I want the Eagles to win. Let me rephrase that. I don't want the Chiefs. I don't want the Chiefs to win. Someone in work today described it as it's like Man U in the 90s. That's what the Chiefs are like. Like they just win everything. It's like Charlotte Flair. They're the Charlotte Flair of the NFL.
But see, I heard this about the New England Patriots too, until they no longer were winning anything.
Yeah.
Every dynasty falls apart eventually. He says, if I had the opportunity to take your favorite person from Colorado to a wrestling event, which favorite person from Colorado would you choose? I don't know. You were late to my show today.
You have to bring a cookie.
You don't get a cookie this week. You're gonna have to bring the cookies next time. And see, then he goes after my team with the next comment. That's why I'm not gonna take him anywhere.
Ah.
Fernando says Jordan Grace will win the Rumble and challenge Rhea and win the championship and achieve the best debut in WWE history. Boy, I tell you, if they give her all that, that's impressive.
That'd be good. I'd be surprised.
Yeah, that'd be impressive.
Mm-hmm.
All right, kids. Well, guess what? That's probably going to do it for us here today. Before we get out of here, Faye, of course, thank you as always for joining us here on today's show. And before we go, For sure. Yeah. If you will, go ahead and tell everybody here where they can find you on the internet.
Yeah, you can find us on Untitled Wrestling Podcast and on Twitter, Blue Sky. We're also on. We're either Untitled Wrestling Podcast or Untitled Rest Pod
Mhm.
on all of the socials. We're on Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter. I don't want to be on Twitter, so I've deleted my Twitter.
Yeah, it's not. It's,
I'm Faye Wild Wolf on Blue Sky though. And yeah, we're on Twitch, and you can catch our podcast on all the podcast places. And watch Two Nations Under Ted.
oh, well, there you go. See there, Chris Patton. See what happened? I didn't do it this time.
It's a
Faye, thanks.
Nice.
See, there you go. Synergy. Faye, thanks again. Don't go anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere. Thanks, guys.
All right, kids. There you go. Faye Devine here on the show. We hope you enjoyed that. And thanks so much for her being with us here today. Very fun stuff. And always good to have a friend of the show back here and have a great conversation about pro wrestling where no one got yelled at. No one said anything stupid like, I hope someone gets fired. No one said the word hate unless it was just said jokingly. No one went after each other and made it weird. We all kept, boy, I could say a lot of other stuff, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna behave. I had a great grandmother used to tell the grandkids, y'all be purdy, play purdy, be purdy, which means be nice to each other, right? But that's not how it came out. So I'm gonna be purdy here today. I'm gonna keep it on the level. But here, all I'm telling you is we had a very nice, very professional, a very nice, very evil, very professional show. I can't help myself. Very professional show. Listen, either bring him back or free Danhausen. Okay? Let this guy, put him to work. If you don't want to use him, Danhausen to TNA. Danhausen in New Japan. Are you kidding? Oh my God, that crowd would eat him alive. Not eat him alive, eat him up. They love him. But no, let's just keep him off TV. By the way, congratulations to Danhausen. He and his girlfriend/wife, perhaps, expecting a baby. So congratulations. By the way, put Danhausen back on TV or let him go somewhere where he can earn a living. What are we doing? All right. Anyway, whatever. I'm off my soapbox. Kids, thanks again for hanging out. I appreciate you very much. We should be back a week from today, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Things happen sometimes, a lot of times out of my hands, but hopefully, and we should be here 7 days from today. So kids, do me a favor. Have yourselves a great weekend. I appreciate you very much. Thanks as always for hanging out. Thanks for watching, for asking questions, for making Faye feel welcome. All this stuff, very cool. So again, thanks much to everybody here. Please be sure to visit boinkstudios.com. Do me a favor, kids. I asked for this last week and several of you did it. Go to Tom Clark's Main Event on the Facebook and leave me a review for the show. If you've not done that yet, for whatever reason, you're mad, I didn't put your comment up on the screen, you're having a bad day, your girlfriend or your boyfriend's mad at you, whatever that looks like, don't take it out on me, man. All I'm asking is to show me a little bit of love on the review page. And just to encourage the move, I'm going to drop it right now, right here. Wait for it. Wait for it. Just wait for it. Can you just be patient? Bam! Right there. Use that link and leave me your show review. You don't got to say much. I ain't looking for a book. I'm not looking for a speech. If you want to just go in there and say, man, Tom is awesome. Prettiest man I ever saw. Whatever. Or how about saying, great show. This guy's great. How about that? That'd be awesome. Say whatever you want. I'm not going to twist your arm. But leave us a review. It would mean a lot to me. And I'm probably not going to leave you alone about it. So you may as well just get it over with. That way I'll leave you alone about it. That's all from me, kids. Again, have a great week, and everybody stay safe out there. Watch you some pro wrestling. Enjoy the Rumble tomorrow, and we will see you a week from today. Thanks, kids. Have a great one.